So in my last session, we made a side profile of the horse using the basic shape and making some divisions to mark the features. For this time we are going to make a 3/4 angle of the horse face using again the same trick but giving some three-dimensional view to that basic shape. Now if you see here, the basic shape which I have made here in a side profile manner, if I have to make it in a 3/4, I gave this division 1, 2 and 3. Sorry, it's here 3. So you got 1, 2 and 3 is here. Now this first one, before you mark the horizontal line, I make one second division slightly longer, and the first one is smaller in length and third one is the shortest and overall. So it goes something in this manner. First, second and third. Now we need this into a three-dimensional form. So obviously, like any object which is a 2D, if I have to give a three-dimensional form, I need to give the second and third dimension, that is the 3D. So till now we have just made the top surface here. Now I have to make the second and third division, second third planes basically. So I make these lines going down. After doing this, if you see here, this is shorter length, this is the longest one, and the second is shorter one. So I keep this distance more longer, this one shorter, and this one again the shorter one. So you see the overall shape has got a three-dimensional form to it. The same box we are going to follow in our next drawing. Looking at the same miniature drawing of the 3/4 angle of the box, first I'll make the center line, which is this one. Then make one line, the first one on the top, and let's set the overall length of this face. Second line will be longer. The first is here, second is the longer one, and third one is the shorter one. Now get these lines which are traveling towards down, and as I said, we have to make this portion, front portion, smaller, the second division longer in length, and the first division again the shorter in length. So you got first, second and third planes as per their sizes. After doing this, we made a C shape at the front. Now before we start drawing the features, let's mark the positions of the eyeball. Just make it inside this corner. At this point, again there's a ears. Now inside this, obviously we are going to make a conical shape which we did it earlier. Conical shape which is connecting to this both eyeballs, peers, and finishing at the edge of this one. And at the bottom, I'll make a jawbone which is making the curve to this corner and which is connecting to this cylinder, to this conical cylinder. I make the position of the ears which are pointing at this direction, and the one is pointing at that different direction. So this is the overall basic volume, or you can say a structure of a 3/4 horse face. Now we'll start making the sketch over this basic volume. Making the eyes, coming towards the snout, we make the nostril. And then the portion of the curvature of this nostril, which I made it at this side. Coming on the top, make some hair strands. Okay, so this way we can construct a 3/4 looking face of a horse. Now let's make the shading on top of this. Make sure when you're giving this dust shading, don't give too much of pressure. Just apply it gently as possible. No need to worry whether the dust particles are going out of this contour line. Just give a shade to the overall sketch end to end. Don't leave anywhere white space. Let's make the edges nice darker. Okay, so once it's done, I take a eraser and start erasing the unwanted portion. Be careful when you're dust erasing. Sometimes your eraser has some stains on it, so it will leave the mark on the surface. So make it clean. Once this is done, they can start giving a proper detail shading. For leaving the highlight white, and I'm just erasing out with the help of eraser and keeping the highlight more stronger white. Whereas the rest of the portion, again I'll make it darker. Adding some more values wherever it's required. Giving more darks below this jawbone, where you see the separation of this round jawbone and the conical shape of the snout. You make it nice dark. Coming towards the snout, you can see that there is a lot of darkness in the nostril, so we create the nostril the darkest. So here, to give the white patch over his skin, giving some more highlights. So this way you can create the 3/4 looking face with the help of some basic measurements. I hope this will be like helpful for you to understand that not just copying an image but try to understand the shape and the structure inside, and then you go in the detailing and the shading later once you draw the overall structure properly, and then you start giving the shade and light at the end. This will make you understand, not only make you understand about the structure of the whole that subject or that animal, but at the same time you will also understand that this structure will also help you in your further sketches, further drawings. Even when there is no reference, you will be able to draw this without any guidance, without any like dependency of the reference.